This could have been his opportunity. He could have been the next Charlie Kirk. And instead, Candace Owens came in and was like, I'm the new Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to get there by talking about Charlie Kirk in perhaps one of the more disrespectful fashions, even though all of the Kirk heads are now Candace Owens heads, and they think Candace is doing his memory justice. It is the most insane way to go out, man. It is such a crazy way. Like, his legacy would have been better honored if the Trump administration actually arrested people like myself by pointing to his assassination. And Candace Owens took that and was like, I'm the only one who cares about him. Peep the videos. That's my work wife. We listen to Nicki Minaj together. And also Charlie Kirk can actually change electrical currents. And people were like, oh my God, I believe everything you're saying. Tell me more. She pointed to the menorah in the courtyard. She said, look at the menorah courtyard. There's a hole in the ground. You know who likes to make tunnels? Jewish folk. Look at Brooklyn. There's tunnels in there. As though there's any Jewish people in Utah. Anyway, doesn't matter. None of it matters. She literally dominated discourse with this. And there are people who are just straight up like, no, she's the truth teller. I forgot about his superpowers that she talked about. Yes, dude. Yes. Egyptian helicopters. The real Jews are the French. Like, she went, Jews killed Kirk, and then she went, the real Jews are the French. I was there. I watched all of it happening. I couldn't believe it. She said, it's Jews that control the media. Then she said, it's actually French that control the media because the real Jews are the French. She said that shit. And perhaps what's more insane is people believed it. Why didn't he just say Israel did it too? I think he's just, I don't know. I think he has the same kind of autism that I have, where he has to literally, like, when he sees something as illogical as the argument that, like, Israel killed Charlie Kirk, he just can't, he has to say that that's not the case. I don't know. It is kind of crazy that if Charlie Kirk wasn't assassinated, we were straight up going to debate on the issue of Israel. So I am at least uniquely positioned in this story to know exactly what his takes were, because I was researching his positions on Israel. And that is my only point of view on this, where, like, even if it was Israel that killed him, which I don't believe, but also, if my queen believes it, then what am I? I'm just a bystander. You know what I mean? I can't argue against the queen. However, the one area that I take issue with is literally the notion that Charlie Kirk was changing his perspective on Israel. Charlie Kirk was, till the last moment, Donald Trump's loyalist. Okay, he was Donald Trump's servant. I have plenty of evidence to show you, especially on the issue of Jeffrey Epstein. Charlie Kirk was a huge Jeffrey Epstein guy. And as soon as Donald Trump gave him a boss call and said, shut the fuck up about Jeffrey Epstein, he said, I'm going to shut the fuck up about Jeffrey Epstein.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine.
Charlie Kirk unironically did write a book that I think is now postmortem published about Israel, specifically about how conservatives should defend Israel. He wrote a letter to Netanyahu on how to win back the youth. This is literally this was one of his primary concerns. Also, on the other hand, just like these grifters are usually, Charlie Kirk hated the donors. He hated them. Of course he hated them. Why wouldn't he hate them? People who are pro-Israel are unbelievably arrogant about their donations. They literally go, oh, you're criticizing Israel? I gave you $100,000. Shut the fuck up. So that doesn't mean anything. You know who else famously was super pro-Israel throughout the entire so-called peace process, the Oslo Accords? Bill Clinton. You know what Bill Clinton famously said? I can't stand Benjamin Netanyahu. Bill Clinton famously said to Benjamin Netanyahu, who the f do you think is the superpower here? And then at the end of the day, Bill Clinton still did the bidding of Israel in those Oslo Accords. So the reality of the matter is, all of these guys are annoyed with the Zionist donors. All these guys get annoyed with the pro-Israel movement, but it doesn't matter. Their output is still always going to be the same. Until Donald Trump turns on Israel, Charlie Kirk was never going to turn on Israel. So that is actually one part of this conspiracy that I find, really goddamn annoying, but whatever, who cares? I think you meant Mossad wrote a book, put Charlie's name on it, and then exploded a lav mic. Yeah, that's what I meant. That seems less far-fetched than the conservative movement's most loyal servant being unbelievably loyal to Israel. And France and Israel. She's so crazy. She's so crazy. Bro, come on, dude. It's so cool that she added the French into this because she had the personal beef with Brigitte Macron and she was getting sued by them. She was getting sued by Brigitte Macron, who she said was transgender. So she just, boom, tied France into that conspiracy too. It's awesome. I see, that's the other side of this story that I kind of don't understand. Like, do people just like avoid that side? Like, or do they also think France killed Charlie Kirk? Because I'm pretty sure people think Israel killed Charlie Kirk, and that came mostly from her. So when she added the French into the equation, did people just like avoid that part? Do they just pick and choose what kind of crazy conspiracies they believe? Are you forgetting the French are the real Jews line? That makes them the same sentiment? No, I know, but like no one believes that, right? Please tell me people don't believe the French are the real Jews, whatever the f that even means. And yes, by the way, for those of you who didn't believe me, she did tie Egypt and France to the equation as well. And the French Foreign Legion were on the ground that day.
I think that Israel is involved.
That's not just what you said. You said that it's with full confidence.
Yes.
You would think that if you had full confidence,
when you think?
If I said, for instance, I think I'm going to be late.
Oh God, what is this debate, dude? Jesus Christ, I can't believe people watch this. He's genuinely bad at trapping her. I know, he's just so ass. Why is it versus Andrew Wilson? Who is he? I guess he's the debate champion that Turning Point USA put up. I don't really know why. Like, low-key, Nick Fuentes would probably do a better job than Andrew Wilson here, which would be hilarious. Oh, God. What a stupid, stupid time to be alive. Yeah. Like, Charlie Kirk's personal perspective on Israel wasn't as critical either. It really wasn't. He was just more so annoyed with the pro-Israel donors and the pro-Israel movement because it was making his job a lot harder to reach out, to do youth outreach. He was always very worried about Nick Fuentes for this reason as well, because Nick Fuentes would, show up at his events, and his Groypers would show up at his events, and they would harass and bully, and it was because it's like antithetical to the anti-DEI initiatives. You know what I mean? You can't be an anti-DEI guy, but then also talk about being woke about Israel, being woke about Jews in particular for the right wing, for the right-wing youth movement.